Flight's over. We have another glimpse of an interstellar object that has become a public obsession. NASA has just unveiled high-resolution photos of the comet known as 3IAtlas. The comet is only the third known object from outside our solar system to pass through our solar system. Some say it could be an alien mothership. Moments ago, NASA said this.
Right away, of course, NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office they studied it, and they established that 3IAtlas is not a danger to Earth. In fact, it's at least twice as far away as the distance between the Earth and our sun.
Lucy was 240 million miles away from 3IAtlas, which is circled in the center, when its high-resolution LORRI camera caught the comet. You can see the comet's coma, the fuzzy halo of gas and dust surrounding 3IAtlas, and its tail, a smudge extending to the right of the comet.
Director of the Institute for Theory and Computation at Harvard University, Dr. Avi Loeb, joins me. I look at that picture and all those dots look the same to me. So tell me, why? Tell me about this picture that we just saw showing the comet.
Well, there were no new insights as to the properties of this object. From this NASA press conference, they pretty much repeated things that we already knew. We knew about the Hubble data, the Webb telescope data, and then the new data, for example, the image from the high-rise camera on board the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter that should have been the sharpest that we have, just showed a fuzzy ball of light similar to the Hubble image that we already saw before. And there was some data from MAVEN on Mars that indicated hydrogen, but these are details. Nothing in the big picture changed. And, the point is that the presenters should have emphasized what we don't understand rather than insist about what is familiar. And, as I say, the foundation of science is the humility to learn something new rather than the arrogance of expertise. That's what the public resonates with. And I pointed out 12 anomalies about this object. The most important among them is the size. This object is a million times more massive than the first interstellar object, 1,000 times more massive than the second interstellar object. And why didn't we see millions?
Let me ask you about that.
Yeah.
So you talk about these interstellar objects, and I was doing a little research, and this is the third one. This one right now is the third one. And the first one was in 2017. The second one is 2019. Are you telling me that none ever happened before 2017? And if none ever happened before 2017, how come we're suddenly now getting 3 in 8 years?
No, there were many that passed before. It's just that we didn't have survey telescopes that are capable of detecting them. These survey telescopes were designed to find near-Earth objects because the Congress tasked NASA in 2005 to find 90% of all objects bigger than a football field that may come close to Earth because of the risk that they pose if they were to impact the Earth. So as a result of that, over the past decade, there were survey telescopes that allowed us to find these objects by chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, if Congress wants you to investigate, wants NASA to investigate something to find out if it's going to impact the Earth, what can we do anyway? I mean, if it's coming here, if let's say this particular comet we're going to hit the Earth, and we just should have buckle up and what would happen?
No, if we're dealing with rocks or icy rocks, we can deflect them. If we catch them early enough, just a small nudge could actually make them pass far from Earth. And so that's the trick. And in fact, there was a mission called DART where NASA demonstrated that colliding a spacecraft with an object can deflect it significantly. So that's possible. There are various methods to deflect them. But this method of preventing a rock from hitting the Earth does not work for a technological object because it can maneuver, or it may have an intent, or it may have abilities that we cannot cope with. It's just like ants in the crack of a pavement looking at a biker that passes nearby. They cannot do much about it. And that may be the situation when we encounter alien technology.
All right, we're going to know more in about a month, or it comes closest to the Earth in about a month, right? I think that's what you told me last time.
On December 19th, and in the coming weeks, we'll have a trove of data, a flood of data that would be very helpful at figuring out all the properties. I mean, we already saw in recent weeks 7 jets coming from this object, some towards the sun, some away from the sun. And we haven't seen yet a very detailed image from a large telescope, but I expect that in the coming weeks. So by the holidays, I expect us to know much more about this object. And let's just hope that it will not deliver any unwanted gifts to Earth. That's all.
Okay, what's the unwanted gift? I'll bite on that one. Like what unwanted gift?
Okay, so there are 2 possibilities. If it's a natural object, it could, for example, fragment. There could be pieces of it that make their way closer to Earth. Or if it's a mothership, a technological mothership, you could have mini probes that are released and reach close to Earth. So we need to monitor whether there is any unusual activity near Earth. We have a lot of eyes on the sky. And also near Mars. There are orbiters there, there are rovers there. Just check for unusual activity, any objects that arrived that were not there to start with.
You know, it's so fascinating to listen to this. It makes me think, I wish I hadn't gone to law school. I should have gone, because it's just endless.
It's never too late, Greta. I'll be delighted to work with you if you wanted.
Well, I think I first need to go back and try, working on my high school chemistry. I was a little bit.
Oh no, you can come to my class. I teach some of the basics on this, and it won't take you long to figure things out. The beauty of science is that it's not up to people to decide what nature is. We just need to observe nature and figure it out. It's like a detective story, so it's much better than politics, because in politics you get a lot of misinformation.
Indeed, again. All right, well, I'm going to take you up on that class. You probably shouldn't have said that. I'll take you up on that. Dr. Avi Loeb, thank you very much, sir. And I hope to see you on the 19th of December when we're talking about getting the closest to the Earth. Thank you, sir.
I'll be delighted. Thank you.